So today we're going to talk about uh, kind of what are the things to watch out for when you get an online delivery. First of all, I'm going to give you some tips because I've ordered so much online, and if you are planning to order from any vendor, maybe a good vendor, it may be a bad vendor, whatever, whoever gives you a plan online, or even you can apply this same set of things for offline nurseries as well. When you bring the plant home, bring the set of plants home, please keep them isolated individually and apart from other plants that you might already have in your house. Two reasons: because maybe there they might have some infection. Only one of those plants that you have bought home might have some infection, or your existing plants might have some infection, or they might internally, one of the 5 plants you bought might have an infection. If you keep all of them together separately, but still all of your 5 plants might get infected. So first thing I do when I bring them home is I kind of keep them uh, not even in direct sunlight. So I just keep them in probably my room or isolated space where there are no other plants, and then I spray them with neem oil after a few hours or after a day. I spray them completely with neem oil, like drench them, like every leaf, upper side and lower side, both of them are just drenched with neem oil solution with water. So then, even after that, sometimes what happens is the soil might have come in infected, and you might not know about that till some time passes. So something like that happened to my alocasia, and I did a series of steps that I'm gonna talk to next. The alocasia that came in a. These are the 2 plants that came in. They came in a weird netted pot, and the entire soil is infected, which is why the leaves are yellowing. I have to now treat the soil. I was finally able to clear out the roots, and I've dipped it in neem oil for now, cleaned out the roots. So this is the first one. The second one lost a couple of roots actually. You see, my first sign was yellowing leaves, but it didn't have a brown spot, and I was not watering it so frequently that it warranted a yellow leaf suddenly. So I suspected that there must be something wrong with it, and when I pulled it out, I saw the entire soil had been infected with fungus, whatever this is called, spores. So you see, it's completely filled with white dots. So this is what happens actually. Plus there was a net pot that was stuck. The nurseries always give a cocoa peat rich solution. See, this is completely cocoa peat, nothing else is there in this. So that's why I tend to make unboxing videos after a couple of months. So this was from soil.in. I will treat this, then cook this soil, mix it with perlite and vermiculite, and then repot in a fresh clean pot. So I'll clean this pot completely, and then I will repot these guys. Then these guys will have a chance at survival. I'll probably remove some of the leaves like this which are yellow too much. I'll just prune them, the ones that are yellow, so that means that started to get infected. So my focal point is to treat the roots and make sure that there's no infection there. The soil is cooked and ready. The pot is clean and ready. Vermiculite, perlite. The soil is still warm, so I'm waiting for it to come to room temperature. The roots have been properly preserved. Because it was stuck in a net pot, I had to carefully remove it. I lost a couple of roots in this plant, the second one, and I have kept it dipped in the neem oil solution for half an hour. Now I'm drying it off, and once both are ready, once the soil is room temperature and this is ready, I will be putting it back into the pot. So let's attempt to repot this and see what happens to this plant in the span of next couple of days. Right now there is cooked soil. It has come to room temperature. It's mixed with vermiculite and perlite. to loosen the soil a little bit and reduce the moisture retention capacity. I would have liked to add some sand to it as well, but I don't have that right now. And so the diagnosis for this plant is I bought this plant a month ago from an online store, and it was doing well, but it suddenly started showing. See, there is a lot of new growth coming up. This is a new leaf. No, this one was also a new leaf, I think. So this one is also a new leaf, and this one has a couple of new leaves, but then suddenly it started showing these yellow spots. So strangely, the spots didn't have a black spot in the yellow spots don't have a black spot in the center. If there would have been black spots with yellow spots on the side, it means that it would have some sort of bacterial infection or something like that. That's as per the information from the net. So then I decided, then why is it turning yellow? Yellowing is mostly a watering problem, and I have not overwatered it because I water it only when it's completely dry, and it was doing quite well for some time. So then I decided, let's pull it out and see the soil. The soil had completely white spots, like I show you on the side. So I had to completely clean off the roots and everything. So it's completely clean. I lost a couple of roots, but that's okay. And now I will actually, I'm also thinking of eliminating some leaves, especially this leaf, which looks quite a lot of disease, but I'm afraid that this has only one leaf and it will not survive. So I'll just keep it maybe. And the pot did not have much of drainage, so I brought some terracotta broken pieces, which I'll put at the bottom to improve drainage. So the point of making this video was to make you understand that sometimes plants, once you bring it from a nursery, local nursery, or even from a online nursery, they might suddenly deteriorate after a month. Maybe because the soil composition is wrong or something like that. You'll have to think on your feet on why that is happening. So my first guess was watering problem, that I maybe did not water it for long. Then I watered it, like whenever the soil was completely dry, I watered it, and then when I opened it, I saw that soil was infected. So you have to think that, okay, if it's not a watering problem, it might be something on the leaves. I could not find anything on the leaves, any aphids or mealybugs or anything. So, or there are not even a black spot as well. So I decided, okay, let's check the roots. So the roots were infected, which is what we're going to solve right now. So yeah, the cooking of the soil, and the soil is now at room temperature. So I'll just because of transportation, that's what they have to do to ensure that it survives the transit. But then it's not a very good idea for long-term care, because coco peat rich soil might be good for online transportation for the transit, but it's not a very good idea for plants in general to only have coco peat rich soil, which retains a lot of moisture, right? So I'll just pat it down and let it settle. So the soil has a little bit of moisture. I think even after cooking it had a little bit of, it's like it feels a little bit of wet. So I'll just not water it right now. I'll let it completely dry out and adjust to it. So let's see what happens. This is how the plant looks right now. It's a beautiful leaf, right? This leaf is completely not affected. This leaf has started affecting. This leaf is also fine. So I think I might just remove some of them. I mean, why take the chance, right? At this point, I'm taking a guess because I don't have the complete information. Like, plants don't tell you, okay, this is what is wrong with me. They just show you some symptoms, and you have to do your best, I guess. So I'm removing any yellowing of spots that are there, because honestly, I don't want the infection to continue spreading. So yeah, this is the completely changed, Alocasia. I don't know the type, the full name. I'll maybe attach it below. Different people call it different kinds of alocasia. So sometimes some people call it Amazonica or something, and some people who call it Sandrina, whatever. I don't know. Lots of kinds, and what matters is that it's alocasia, and there's a certain set of things that they need. And one of the things they need is a not infected soil. Or on the top, I'll keep a watch out for this, and in the next few days it will be completely in quarantine actually, so I'll create a separate section for it on a, but this also requires light, so it has to be quarantined in a space where it receives light, otherwise it will deteriorate further, especially now that it has some transplant shock. So yeah, I hope at least one of them survives. The best case result would be both of them survive and grow out new leaves, but I hope at least one of the major plants will survive. So this was doing very well. I actually keep on spraying all my plants. So you see the new leaves have come in as well. So it had two, I think I see two bulbs with them. These are bulbs, right? So I received two of them. So these three are one bulbs, and this tiny one is one bulb. So two of them. And suddenly, two or three leaves simultaneously, without any change in temperature, without any change in anything, they started turning yellow. And I initially thought it was watering or something else problem, but it wasn't actually. It didn't change anything. And strangely, it happened after a month after I bought it. So, for example, I bought it on 5th September and I probably received it in 10 days. And I got it for, I think the yellowing started around first week of October. So what I immediately did is there's no problem in the leaves. I inspected the leaves. I drenched them in neem oil and all of that. So finally, sometimes the soil might also come in infected. So I pulled it out and I saw there were white things all over it. So it got infected. The soil came in infected because most of the time the nurseries give not so good soil. Even online nurseries, they might not give so good soil for plant. So it's always wise to check that as well, but I don't like checking it immediately because it might put them in further shock because they have already been transported. They came in from probably a local nursery or some other nursery to my house, and they don't like they're getting acclimated to it. I don't immediately pull it out and see and disturb their roots. But if some symptoms show like this, like yellowing of leaves, sudden yellowing of leaves and all that, so I will definitely investigate the roots as well. So I pulled it out, and what I did was I completely checked the soil, cooked the soil, inspected the roots, dipped it in neem oil, kept it dipped in neem oil, washed it again, and then made a new mixture with a little bit more perlite and everything. And finally, I put this back, and it has no more yellow leaves, although it has not given any new growth, but it also does not have any new leaves as well. Hope you learned something from this video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit a like if you really learned something from it. Don't forget to subscribe. You guys watch and don't subscribe, don't you? Subscribe. Bye.